Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to Mountain Made Creations. I'm glad you're here. If you're on live on Facebook, comment, let me know where you're watching from and what the weather is like. It was 40 degrees when we woke up this morning, and it's like 54 now, but the wind's blowing. It's such a beautiful fall day. It's chilly, but it is so pretty. So, today we are going to be making some clay earrings. I have not played with the clay for quite a while now, so I thought, you know what, let's do that, something different. And I like to try to do different things. You know, I'm hooked on the sublimation earrings now, but the clay earrings are super fun to make. You never know what they're going to come out like. So let's get started on that. I'm going to share this out in my private group. If you're watching this on Facebook, or if you're watching live, let me know where you're watching from. If you're catching it on a replay, hashtag replay so that everybody gets a chance to see it. It'll bump it up. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. So, what are you guys up to today? Went to church this morning with my mom and my niece. And church is always good. It always just seems to make the week a lot better when I go to church on Sunday. So, and it's really special to be able to go with my mom and my niece. All right, so we've shared that out. So, first of all, we're going to be using some Sculpey clay, and I have all different colors. I have no idea what I want to make. We're just going to wing it and make what we come up with. I've got different colors. I've got this mint color. I've got this like teal color blue. We've got some bright pink, some glitter. I think I'll save the glitter to the last because it really gets glitter on everything when you run it through the pasta maker. I have some brown and some black, which I may use the brown and the black because it's kind of like fall. And I have some cookie cutters that I don't know, this pumpkin maybe, I don't know if it would be too big. We'll have to see. And then I just have some leaf cookie cutters that I just pick up along the way. I also have these that I really like, the arch earrings, so I'm definitely going to make these. These came from Michael's, and I'm not even sure how much they were. I've had them for a while. But you can use to condition the clay, which condition the clay just means to make it into a smooth surface, get out the bubbles, all that good stuff. You can use just an acrylic roller if you want, but I purchased a cheap pasta maker on Amazon to run my clay through because it just speeds up the time, because if you use this, it takes longer. Plus, you're going to get it more the same level all the way across if you use a pasta maker. There's all different ways to use these and have them come out just fine, but I like using the pasta maker. And I have these tissue blades, and you guys, these are super sharp, so be careful with your messing with the tissue blades, because I have cut my finger several times. And I have a piece of glass from a picture frame that I use to do my clay on, because it's a flat surface that I can get the clay up. If you don't use something like kind of slick, it's hard to get the clay up. And so this will also help get the clay up. And I hope I didn't just, no. And so I also have these little, this kit that I purchased from Amazon, and I'm gonna use the small one to do like the earring holes. I like to do the earring holes when I make them right before I bake them, because it's just easier than trying to drill it, in my experience. Now you may do it a different way and that works fine, and whatever works for you is great. So it's just like one of these that has a little handle on it, and I just use that to poke the little holes in. There's different sizes in here, so I'm going to set that aside. And I'm also going to take my jewelry off because I don't want to get the clay on my rings. And I'm going to undo this pumpkin because I might try it. I don't know. It may be too big for an earring, but we're going to give it a shot and see if we can, what that looks like, because I've got a smaller one here. I can get this out. There we go. I know the big ones are just going to be way too big. You would not want, you could make a pendant maybe, but that still would be a little bit big. And when I use the clay has directions on baking it, because you have to bake your clay once you get your shapes done. And the instructions on the package of the Sculpey, it is to bake it at 275 degrees for 30 minutes. And another tip that I learned from someone else on YouTube was, when you are going to bake your clay, you might want to get a oven thermometer and put it in there, because my oven, when I preheated it and it beeps and says it's preheated, it really wasn't to that temperature yet. So you want to make sure that your oven is exactly at the temperature before you put the clay in there, because it'll cause it not to cure correctly. So that's what helps me to make sure that the temperature is what it says it is when it says it is. So when it beeps and says it's preheated, it's usually not preheated yet, but then I just wait and I check that thermometer. Once it gets to 275, then I'll put it in there. And I just use just a cookie tray, and I use parchment paper, but also I lay a piece of tile on top of the clay pieces before I bake it, because that helps keep the air bubbles out, because you can get air bubbles in the clay. So let me grab that parchment paper, because I'll be putting these on there as we go. So I put the clay on here, then I'll put another piece on top of the clay, and then I put the tile on top of that. That just keeps it held down where the bubbles, it keeps it from having bubbles. And I always have like leftover scraps of clay, and I just keep it in this tray, because you can go back and reuse it. You know, you can come up with all different kinds of colors or whatever you want to try. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And we may have to do one of these leaves and see what that turns out like, because this one's kind of small and I think that would be cute. And then also, like the glitter clay, once you put glitter through your pasta maker, it could get glitter on other colors that you don't want glitter on, so just be aware of that. That's why I'm going to do the glitter last, so I don't get it on anything else. So this is just the brown, it is called Cowboy, is the color of this Sculpey souffle. And so I'm just going to cut it with the tissue cutter. Oh gosh. And then we'll get that ready for the pasta maker. The pasta maker is really, really good. Saves a lot of time. So I just have one block, and I'm just going to kind of like soften it up a little in my hand. Then I'll roll it a little bit and get it flat enough to go in the pasta maker. And let me put you guys down. And right there, this is the pasta maker. And like I said, it's just a cheap one that I bought on Amazon, because I was doing just the roller and it was taking way too long. I have little patience. So anything I can do to help make it easier, I'm going to do it. And it was cheap. So I'm just softening it up a little bit in my hands. And you also want to make sure you don't have a lot of lotion on your hands, because it will get on the clay as well. And I have not been in the clay for quite some time, and I've missed it. Clay is one of my favorite things to do, and I've just been wrapped up on so many other things. And the sublimation earrings are just like the coolest things ever. I'm really enjoying those. So I'm gonna go ahead now, and I'm just gonna like get this piece of clay to where it'll fit, because you obviously don't want to stick something that thick in your pasta machine, because it's not gonna do well. And there's different thicknesses you can put it on, and I usually just play around with it until I find one that I like. That's about what I want it. And also, when you change colors, you want to clean off your roller too, because it'll transfer. So I'm just going to drop it in here, and it might not even be. There we go. It may be too thick. We'll see. Okay, that's good. So it comes out like this. Now I'm going to fold it over And this is what I'm going to continue to do over and over again. But you always want to make sure that the folded end is at the bottom because it'll push bubbles out of the top. And so we're just going to roll it through this pasta machine. And I'm folding it and I'm going to put it in like this. You always want to make sure there's an opening at the top so that the air has a way to get out. And so I'll just continue to do this until I get it looking really good and shiny. And then we'll get some of the black out and do the same with that. Now I have had issues with like the pasta machine. I don't know if you can see the lines in it, but once you get it done, and like if you have designs, like I'm gonna put some black specks in it to kind of look like leopard. It kind of takes away from those lines. You can't really see it that well once it's baked and all that. And you don't even have to put anything over the clay after you bake it unless you want to. You can put resin on there, which I'm pretty much done with the resin. And you can put, there is, Sculpey makes like a glaze that you can put on it, and I have used that, and that does turn out really well. But there's all different kinds of things that you can put over it to make it shiny, or I just kind of like the clay look, like the matte clay. And so I'm just going over this and putting this through to get it conditioned really well to be able to make the designs. And you can make it as thick or as thin. Now I have this on a 3 on my pasta maker. It's really just your preference of how thin and thick you want your clay. And I just fold it over and we stick it back in there and we just keep going. And that's basically it. It's super easy to make clay earrings, and it's so much fun because you can come up with so many different variations and designs. It's really a lot of fun. I really enjoy working with the clay. And so we're just conditioning it is what this is called, and that just gets it to where it's pliable and gets all those bubbles out. It makes it smooth and a really pretty surface to work with. It comes out really pretty. And so once I get this one conditioned, then we'll do the black, and then we'll put some designs and do the cutting, and then you bake it, and that's it. It's takes hardly no time at all to make these. And baking them for 30 minutes, I just use my regular oven. Some people have specific ovens they use. I don't have that option, so I just put it in my oven on a cookie sheet, and you line it with the parchment paper and all that. You can put it on the tile and bake the tile. You don't have to use a cookie sheet. It's just your preference. But you want to make sure that it's pretty level, whatever you're putting them on. And I think this is getting pretty conditioned. It looks really good. It's got that shine to it. I don't know if you guys can see the shine on that. So I think that we're going to stop with it right there. I'm just going to lay that to the side, and we'll get this. This is, what is this called? They have this sticker on top of it. Fimo soft clay is what this is. And I picked this up at no, this one came from Hobby Lobby. And so I'm going to use the black to put some dots on the brown, and then we may just make some black earrings. And their chunks of clay are a little bit bigger than the Sculpey. So I'm going to go ahead and warm this up a little bit just to make it easier to work with. And then we'll do the same thing we did with the brown on this one. So, what have you guys been up to? Tell me what the weather's like where you are, because it has been absolutely beautiful. And I'm not really sure if you're commenting and I'm not answering you, it's because I can't see comments. Sometimes I can see them and sometimes I can't. So I'm super sorry if you're commenting and I'm not responding to you. It's not because I don't want to, but a lot of times for some reason or another, Facebook doesn't let me see the comments. So I will definitely come back after the live and check the comments and answer any questions that you guys might have. But so this clay is a little bit more, seems to be a little bit harder than the Sculpey. I really like the Sculpey clay. So I'm just gonna get this down to where it's thin enough to go through the pasta maker. This clay is like really hard. We may not be able to use this. We're gonna try it and see. Let's just try a smaller piece for right now. Yeah, that's better. Well, maybe. It's kind of crumbling. I don't think this clay is any good. So we're gonna have to scrap the black. That's not good. And we'll just use a different color. I don't know what's up with that black. It's like it's dried up or something. I've had it for quite a while, so that may be it. So I'm gonna get the black off of here just so it doesn't transfer on anything else. And then I'll pick another color. Let's see what other color we can have with that. Let's try, that's got glitter in it. I'm trying not to use anything with glitter starting out because it gets on everything. Let's try the pink. Brown and pink are pretty together. You can never go wrong with pink. Don't really have another good color to go with the brown other than the white, and it's got glitter in it, so we may do that at the end. We'll put some white glitter on there. That would be actually really pretty. We'll have to see, because it really wouldn't matter. We'll do some pink first, and then we'll maybe do that glitter, because that glitter is looking really pretty. So I'm just gonna wipe this off where I had that black on there. And the black, I'm pretty sure that the black is dried up because it was just crumbling. So I'll probably have to trash that. So I'm just rolling this out to get it to a good size to fit in the pasta maker. And then we're just gonna put it in, just like we did the brown. I'll fold it over, put it in that way. Oh, I love this pink, it's so pretty. So you guys, are y'all ready for fall or are y'all ready for Christmas? I am not ready for Christmas yet, even though I've been making lots of Christmas signs and door hangers this weekend, and I'll probably make more tomorrow. I've got a couple more fall signs I want to do because I feel like I've kind of skipped over fall a little bit. And I love Thanksgiving and fall, but it feels like that just gets skipped right over sometimes. All right. And so all I'm gonna do is put some little chunks of the pink on that brown. I think it's just gonna give it, I think it's gonna be a neat two colors together. I think it's gonna be really pretty. So I don't really have to condition this quite as much as I did the brown because this is not the base. This is gonna be just parts of it, or the like little color in there. So we have it pretty good. If you can see how shiny it is, and it's in a good shape. So what I'm gonna do is, I hope you guys can see, I'm just gonna cut a little strip off of there, and I'm just gonna take little bits and pieces and stick them on the brown. Is all I'm doing. I hope you guys can see that. Put you down a little bit. There we go. And so I'm just gonna put this over kind of like a cheetah print, sort of, all on the brown. And then we'll go over that once or twice with the roller, and then we may stick it in the pasta maker for just a minute. And so I'm just cutting little pieces and putting them on here, just randomly placing them around. I'm just tearing them off of this little strip is all I'm doing. I really don't like that long one there. That one looks different. And so we'll just place these all along here. And I'm going to go ahead and cover this whole piece because I really like these two colors together. They are super pretty. You can make so many earrings out of just a small piece of clay. It's quite amazing. I mean, so this is just, the brown was just one little block, and the pink as well. So that's all I'm doing is pulling little pieces off like that, and then just laying it down. Nothing fancy. There's a lot of different ways to get designs with clay that I'm not that good at it yet. So we do the kind of simple ones. And so I'm just placing them all around, not in any specific pattern. I'm just going around. I don't want that one touching that one. Pull that one back up. And let's do one right there. And that looks good. I think I'll stop with that one. All right, so I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna bring this over here where I can work on it. So you see what we have. And so you can see that it's raised up. It's not down in the clay yet. So what I'm gonna do is take the roller and I'm just gonna lightly go over it. It's not gonna be hard pressed or anything, not a lot of pressure. I'm just gonna lightly go over it to get those pieces into the brown. So I'm just lightly going over that, not really any pressure. And I'm gonna run it through the pasta machine one time, and I think I'm gonna change the thickness. Let me test it on this one before I do it. Make sure I don't have it too thin. Yep, I went the wrong way. So let's change that thickness a little bit. Okay, that's better. So I've rolled over it with the, I went over it with the acrylic roller, and so now what I'm gonna do is just, I'm gonna pick it up. Just like this, and I'm gonna put it through here. Probably just one time maybe. And so that did this. So maybe one more time. And so there we have that. So I think I'm gonna make this just a little bit thicker or thinner. One more time. The more you do it, the bigger the spots get. So that is really good. It's in there really good. Nothing's raised or sticking up. So now we're ready to cut shapes. Best part. So what I'm gonna do is use these little arches to make some earrings. So I'm just going to lay this down where I want it, and then I'm just gonna push down. And then I'm gonna do that again. And you can kind of see where you have it, what the colors are that are in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple on this one, and then I'll do one pair or one of the big one. And so then now we have the big one. I think I might have enough. I'm not sure if I do. We'll try it and see. I don't even think that cut. I don't think I'm gonna have enough. No, so we won't do the big one because I don't have enough. So now I'm just gonna pull up the excess clay, and hopefully everything sticks. I may not have cut that very good. And you want to be careful, because if you stretch your pieces, it will cause your shape to get distorted. Yeah, I didn't cut these very well. All right, so we'll pull this one out. Let me see if I can salvage these since I didn't cut them very well. Let me lay that back down. Let's see if I can cut it a little bit better. If I can get it lined up, would be great. Yeah, I've messed this one up. So yeah, we're gonna have to redo that. All right, so what we have is, and this one we're not gonna use because I didn't have enough. So I'm gonna set that to the side. So what I'm gonna do is pull these up with the blade, with the tissue. And that's what the arch looks like. So I'm gonna lightly put it over here on the, actually, nope, I've gotta put the holes in it. And so also, since we did not, let me think, what can I use to go around and fix that? I'm gonna cut her. Use my X-Acto knife because I see on this one where I did not get it cut very well. So I can go in here and fix that, hopefully, without messing it up. And you can also do this after you bake it with a, like a little Dremel drill and smooth those out. So what I'm gonna do now is put the little holes in the top for the earrings pieces. So I'm gonna put a little hole right in the top. And there's that one. So I'm going to sit this over here on the parchment paper. And I'll show you what we can do with this leftover clay that on the pieces that didn't come out very good. Is we can put it all back together, make it in a ball, and we can run it through and make a crazy looking design with the clay, since it's all going to be bunched up together. And I'm going to clean this off with a towel. So now we have this ball of clay that I'm just going to flatten out a little bit with the roller. And I'm going to make I'm going to put this on one that's not quite as thick. I mean, not quite as thin, sorry. All right, so let's run this through and see what we have. So see, it's going to blend these colors and make this really crazy looking design. And I'm gonna try again with the brown and the pink, and then I might do a little bit of the white glitter because I just really like it. Now remember, the more times you run it through, the more it's going to do what it's gonna be, making it all in one color, basically. And what we can do is we can go in and add some of that pink to it. If we get it to where it's like the same color, you don't see the design much, we can add some specks of the pink to it, and it'll come out really pretty. Because it's pretty much blending the colors together. You can make that marble effect look on these, but if you keep running it through like I'm doing, it makes it run together and you lose the marbling effect, and it kind of just turns into one color, which is fine because I'm going to use some more of that little pink to make some more brown and pink, because I think those are really, really cute. And we can touch up the edges. I'm afraid to do it now because I think that it's so thin. The clay was too thin and it was warm, and if I mess with it too much now, it will distort the shape, and I don't want to do that. So you can take a little Dremel and go around the edges once you bake it, and then it gets those edges smoothed right off. Or you can use like a fingernail file or something and it really gets those edges smoothed out. And I'm just basically running it through, getting it conditioned, get the bubbles out. See, doing this with the roller would take forever. Doing it with the pasta maker really speeds that up, and it conditions it, I think, better. Okay, so this is what we have. We have the brown now conditioned, so you can't even really tell that I put the pink in there. So let me run this through a couple of times. Sometimes you have to clean that roller on the pasta machine because it'll put streaks and marks, but this looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to take little sections of the pink again and just start laying them down randomly. And I don't want real big pieces, because it's going to make the pieces a little bit bigger once you run it through the machine. So I'm just picking off these little pieces, putting them down, just like we did on the other one. And these are going to be so cute. So tell me what you think so far, guys. What do y'all think? And if you've tried working with clay, let me know. I know my niece, Nevaeh, loves clay. She's very artistic. She can draw and do all kinds of things. She's really good at it. And her birthday is on Tuesday, you guys. She'll be 7. I can't believe she'll be 7 already. All right, so now we have that. So let me show you what we have, and I'm gonna run over it with the roller once or twice with the acrylic roller. So that's what we have, and you can see the edges sticking up some, so we're just gonna go over it lightly. I'm not even using any pressure. And now I'm gonna put it through the pasta maker, probably just once or twice. So here's what we have on that one. So let me go ahead and do a couple of the smaller ones again. We'll try to get them cut all the way through this time. Yeah, these look so much better. And then let's do, I have these little crosses, so let's do a couple of these. And actually we can do 2 more because we have a couple of places left. So let's get we're going to use this little teardrop cutter. And so I'm going to go right here and there. And before I lift up the excess, I'm going to go ahead and do my holes with this here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And I'm doing this without my glasses, so I hope that I'm getting this in a good spot. Okay, so now I've punched all the holes. So now I'm going to lift this up, and hopefully it's going to do better than the last ones because I made sure that these were all cut before I finished. Perfect, you guys. Okay, so let me scoop these up and show you. And I picked these up with the tissue cutter just because it keeps from, you don't want to move them around too much and distort the shape. So there's the little teardrops. So I'm just going to put them over here on the piece of parchment paper. And then let's pick up the crosses. So there's the crosses. And I'm just going to lightly move them over here on the parchment paper without distorting them. And you also want to be careful not to get fingerprints. So there's this one. And then this one. And that's all the handling I will do with them at the moment, because you don't want to handle them too much because then you'll distort the shapes. So let me wipe this off because I think I'm going to do another brown with the white glitter. And then that will be it. I'm saving the glitter to the last because the glitter gets on the rollers and it will get on everything. And so now what I'm going to do with the leftover clay is put it in my little bucket with all the rest of them. So I have this, so I'm just going to put this, and I have this left over. These will go into my little bucket over here of different miscellaneous leftover clay. Okay, so now we're going to do the brown again. So I'm going to warm this up and do the same thing. I really like the brown and the pink. I think that looks so pretty. So, so pretty. All right, so now I'm just going to flatten it a little bit to get it into the pasta maker. These are really simple to do, I think, and there's so many different designs that you can do with the clay that you can come up with. So basically what I'm doing here is we're just conditioning the clay, just like we did before. And remember to always leave the open part up so the air bubbles have a way to get out so that you don't have bubbles. And you can do these whatever thickness that you want. It's just your preference of how thick you want your earrings. So it's really a personal preference. Now the first ones I did were pretty thin. I like them a little bit thicker like the second batch we did. It's just my preference. And so I'm just running it through, conditioning it out, getting those bubbles out, making this nice and smooth and shiny, workable. I think I need to thicken it up just a little bit more. And this is the easy part. It's just running it through and running it through until you get it to, you know, conditioned the way you want it. Shiny, no bubbles. And this is where the pasta machine really helps to speed the process up. And if you have any questions at all, let me know. I don't think I can see comments, so I will go back at the end and look at all the comments and answer any questions that you might have. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will be on YouTube going over the comments and answering questions there as well. And I was going to do a devotional today, and I left my book upstairs, so I will grab one that I have down here, and we'll pick the day, and I'll read that devotional to you. Maybe you'll have a great week. So I like to end with a devotional. It just seems to make your day better. It does mine. I read one every morning in the Go For It book by, her last name is Horvath, and I can't think of her first name, Melissa, I think. It's such a good devotional book, and you can get them on Amazon. But it just seems like when you take a minute in the mornings to just meditate and think about that, it just seems to make your day better. It does mine. Okay, so I'm going to keep going a couple more times. Almost there. Yes, this is looking really good. I don't want to get it too flat, too thin. So there's the brown. Now I'm going to get some of this glitter white, and it is called Frost White Glitter. And I'm going to cut a square of that. We're going to condition it, and then we'll add it to the brown. And then all we'll have to do is bake it. But like I said, when you're using glitter clay, I would use it last because it's going to get the glitter on your rollers, and it's going to put glitter on probably everything you do after that until you clean it. That's just from experience. And I just usually clean that roller with alcohol. So I'm just going to run this through, just the same as we did the brown. Now it might be getting brown streaks. It is. It's putting brown streaks on the white. So let me wipe this off. And this is just a dry paper towel that I'm going over it. Hopefully that will help get some of the brown out of there. If not, it's okay. We're going to go with it because we're just going to use pieces of it just like we did the pink. Kind of like a cheetah look, but it's going to be white. So just conditioning it is all I'm doing right now. Running it through, getting it to where it looks really good and shiny. Get those bubbles out. Okay, that looks good. So here's the white glitter. And so I'm just going to put the brown there, and I'm just going to tear pieces off just like we did with the pink and put them down. So October 21st, we have a craft event at Fallon Park if you're local. I think it's from 10 to 2 or 10 to 3. It's going to be a good event. There's going to be food trucks. It's just going to be a fun fall event. If you're looking for something to do, or if you're trying to get your Christmas shopping done, come out and see us. I'll be there. My niece Nevaeh will be with me. She goes and helps me at all my shows. She is such a huge help, and she's into it. She loves crafts. She loves going to these events, and she's really a good helper. And I love it that she enjoys it. I'll have to bring her on. We're going to be making some snowmen soon, so I need to bring her on with me one day so that we can make a couple snowmen with you guys. She's been wanting to do that for a while now. Okay. So there we have the brown and the white with the white glitter. Like I said, I did this a little bit too thin, but we're gonna go with it. Let me make this not so thick. Let me make sure I don't have that too thick. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go over it with the acrylic roller really light. I'm not putting any pressure, just rolling over it. And now I'm gonna run it through. I have my heater on down here, so it might be too warm for this clay because it's sticking a little. So I'm just gonna run it through the pasta machine, probably just 2 times, or maybe 3. One more time. That's looking good, you guys. I don't want to make it too thin, so that's why I'm running it through. So here we have there we have the pieces. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to do a big one. I love the arches. I think they're so pretty. So there's that big one. We'll do another one right here. And what we can do is we can do a couple small ones up at the top. Let's see what shapes. Let's do a circle. We can make these studs. So I'm just gonna get some of the brown and some of the white, and we'll make studs with those. That way we can use pretty much all the design that we made. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna put holes in the round ones because those are gonna be studs. So I'm just gonna put the holes in these arched ones. Okay, now we're gonna pull it up. Hopefully it's gonna come out cut very well. So far, so good. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I love it when that happens. All right, so let's pick up these circles first. That's what the circles look like. How cute is that? That kind of looks like the cow print. I love the cow print. You guys know I'm all about that. And so I'm just gonna put those down, and if there's any, if there's any rough edges, I will, that's what that looks like. I will go over them with a fingernail file once they're baked. I definitely don't want to do it while they're not baked yet. So that's what this looks like. I'm loving how these turned out, you guys. So, so cute. And I will definitely post pictures once these are baked and have the hooks in them. So there's that one. I'm so excited about these. It's been a good while since I've made any clay earrings. All right, so there are all the earrings that we made. So that's it, you guys. That did not take long at all. I hope that this inspires you to make some earrings, and if you do, post them here post them on Jill's Creative Side. I would love to see them. That's my private group on Facebook. I do giveaways, all sorts of fun stuff in that group. So go join that. And you guys, that's it. I have enjoyed spending this time with you guys today. Let me grab that devotional. Hold on one second. This is a little book called 1 Minute Devotions. It's called Grace for Today, and this is, I've had this for so long, you guys, and I happen to have it down here. So let's find the one for today because they're by dates. So October 8th. All right, so it says, be continually grateful. Continue to live in Him, rooted and built up in Him, strengthened in in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness. Colossians 2:6-7. Many people tend to focus so much on the flaws around them that they fail to see wonders of God and His grace. God knows every detail of your life from the cradle to the grave. In his eternal design, He plans what is best for you. Sometimes things go wrong, but God can change your situation so that light radiates from the darkness and hope is born from despair. If you feel dejected, think back on all the good things that have happened in your life. Thank the Lord for His blessings, and He will bring healing and joy to your life because God is the giver of all that is good. We praise and thank you, O Lord, with our hearts, our mouths, and our hands for all the wonders that you have done. Amen. So that's today's devotion. I hope this resonates with you, gives you some hope and inspiration. And I hope that this helps you have a great day. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. I'm going to try to hop on tomorrow live and do some signs, some painting with you guys. So anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and you have a great week this going forward week. I can't even talk. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. If you commented, I'm sorry I didn't reply to your comments. I just can't see them. And if you have questions, post them. I will definitely answer all of the questions. So you guys have a wonderful week, and you guys take care.